smoking tea. It's really good. You don't have to smoke it.
I'm going to have some.
When you pour it, be careful that rolling things stick during it.
That's the ferret toy for everybody throughout America.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Watching.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
Okay, so first off, I do need to let you know that the book I've been using to research for these series for Morrigan and Hecate, and Heather does have these books at, well, at least she did a Christmas or so ago, a Yule, in her shop. Just watch this particular ferret.
Okay, because he bites a little bit.
She is a little bit more nippy.
Okay.
But, so it's The Dark Goddess Craft by Stephanie Wood. So I definitely want to make sure she gets her due. And then Dark Goddess series. So this is the second one we've been doing. This is Hecate. Hecate, Goddess of Witchcraft. All right. So here are some quotes that I took from the book that speak to Hecate. I am the light, but I light the way, I am the darkness. I am the sin eater. I am the void that devours. I am annihilation and deliverance. That one has to go in. She is nipping.
I was trying to give the other one something to play with.
Some company, yes. So, the first thing I'd like to do, for myself personally, I never invoke a goddess. I mean, I know some people do, and that's totally fine. That's the thing they do. But I feel just, the status of god or goddess doesn't lend to me kind of putting more of a demand on them to be somewhere, but I will invite. So, and you all have this on your sheet as well. So if we could take a moment, since we're going to work with Hecate, and invite her with the utmost respect to be with us. Hail Hecate, goddess of the crossroads, illuminator of the unseen. Hail Hecate, goddess of transformation, brightest torch of our limiting darkness. Hail Hecate, goddess of the key. Join me, join us, unlock the hidden parts of ourselves, illuminate the path of our growth. Hail and welcome. And then if you would just say as well, hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
So just asking her to kind of shoulder with us, join with us, be honored by the fact that, we have joined here together to discuss her and research her, know a little bit more about her. So who is Hecate? So I want y'all to just take a moment now to you, and this is where the participation comes in. So I would like for you to share with me personally, what is Hecate to you?
Yes, she is a dark goddess. That's about that. I don't know much, so about Hecate. So
right, she's considered a darker goddess.
Right.
Right. Anybody else?
She's a goddess of the dead.
Goddess of the dead.
She guards the underworld,
Mm-hmm.
and she guards, the animals, dark animals like the black dogs, black cats, black horses, snakes.
Yeah, that's why we can't get rid of Floki today. Candace?
I agree with them, and she's also the goddess of magic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah. And then I forgot your name. I'm so terrible.
Tommy and
Tommy. How hard is that?
I'm new to all of this.
Well, great. Well, welcome. We love the newbies. Yes. And then Leon, now you see, he's more Native American shamanic. So when he joins me on these witchy things, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts or opinions on Hecate?
Well, she's a triple goddess, so she's the goddess that if you are trying to make a change in your life, that's who you call upon.
What tribe are you from?
Somebody's been listening.
Which one?
Mohawk.
Mohawk? Okay, I have Cherokee.
Algonquin,
Seminole.
Oh, really?
Seminole.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
We're American, so we just got all the things. So who is Hecate? Her name means worker from afar. Hecate is the goddess of magic, as Candace said, witchcraft, and the moon. She's also the goddess, of the crossroads, of the decisions. She is the most ancient goddess. A lot of the research that I did on her, I really couldn't find an origin per se. She's one of the goddesses that has just kind of always been. So she's very, very ancient. Although when I picture Hecate, she's always young and beautiful.
She's on my altar.
Yeah, yeah. So, but she's been around a very, very long time. The history that I could find of Hecate, she was the only child of the Titaness Asteria, if I say that correctly, and the Titan Percy. I'm not real good with my Greek. A very ancient goddess. She is held in the highest respect of Zeus because she was a child of a Titaness and a Titan that made her a Titan, a Titaness. And as you know, there was a time in mythology when Zeus had bound all the Titans. Well, he didn't bind her. He had so much respect for her, he left her free. And I think we're about to see Floki. Floki's going to make an appearance in the video.
Do you like me? I think he does.
Yes. So she was honored by all the immortal gods and goddesses. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about who she is, I like to delve into, well, how would we work with this particular goddess? And if you watched the one on Morrigan, this is going to kind of sound a little familiar, because the first thing is respectfully, and I think by respectfully working with a particular god or goddess is taking that time to research them, to know more about them, to kind of, because you want to kind of create that connection more before you start working with them.
Relationship.
Right, you want that relationship before you delve in there, and plus knowing more about the god or goddess kind of lets you know how to address them and kind of what you're getting into. So and then clearly, so always respectfully, and then clearly she's going to want you to be very sure about what you're asking for. You don't have to be very sure of where the outcome's going to go, but what are you asking her to help you with is what she wants to know. And you are not working on the computer. No, you are not. No. See all the fun things we get when we go on the porch. And then being very certain about it. Don't, just as with Morrigan, you don't want to enter into a working with a god or goddess if you are not committed to going the whole way. Like especially with Morrigan, if you start it, she's going to finish it, whether she has to take you kicking or screaming. So if you start it, be ready to see it through. She is worthy. Be clear on your desires. What do you want her assistance with? And don't be wishy-washy now. Devotions to Hecate. When I researched the devotions to Hecate, one of the biggest, you are determined. No.
Want me to put her aside?
No. No. Let's try one more time. The one thing that I kept coming up with when I was researching her offerings was the Hecate Supper. So the most traditional devotional foods are like fish, and so you'd be able to see these if you could see the screen. Fish, sesame seeds, goat cheese, flatbread. She likes a fine setting. And if I went too fast through those, just let me know and I can read them. I can say them again. So fish, sesame seeds, goat cheese, flatbread, and she likes a fine setting. So unlike me, who always uses paper plates, you're going to want to bring something out nicer. You can offer Hecate Supper at, she does love you. This is just crazy. She's like molded herself over her purse. You can leave it at a crossroads, or if you want to do like a smaller altar, dedicated to Hecate, which is something I do recommend if you are going to enter into a specific working with a god or goddess. You do want to kind of dedicate a special area to them, separate from your regular working space, your regular altar space. So you can offer it there. Now, Leon has grown up in this area, so I was getting ready to do a Hecate ritual. I really wanted the Crossroads, and I don't know, what is this, in Cumberland State Park or something? There is like a 4-way crossroads, which to me has the most power, that like nobody drives on, ever. So we went out there one night and we were able to do an entire ritual, a Crossroads ritual to her. At that time, we were looking to get our finances sweetened, so we had left candy at all the crossroads. But then Leon, smart non-witch that he is, he had said, you should take some of this dirt. And so my Hecate products, except for the bath products, but like the oils or her sachet, her closed hand mojo bag, some of that dirt actually goes into those spell tools from that ritual. So that was cool. Yeah. So that's her main offering is a Hecate Supper. Shadow work. Dun dun dun. Yeah, it always comes back to the shadow work. So, get some music. I have a song I'm going to share with you guys here in a little bit, but get some music. There's lots of songs out on Spotify or whatever that relate to Hecate, and kind of just play those. Meditate on her, but mostly meditate on yourself, getting to that place of what do you require of her, what are you asking, okay? And we'll get a little bit more into things that kind of mess up our shadow work, perceptions and thought processes and stuff. We want her to illuminate our destructive thought processes, the darkness in us that we don't want to see. So there are those darker parts of us, or those more annoying parts of us that are just more convenient to leave be. But if we don't address those, that messes up our clarity. Our decision making becomes impaired. So we're basically mucking up our transformation and manifestation because we're not seeing the whole picture of ourselves. Because any witch's work is so personal and depends so personally on that personal power that if you don't have all the cobwebs cleared out, you could start asking for the wrong thing. Or your power could just be limited or moving in a direction that's actually not going to serve you. So illuminate destructive thought processes, the darkness in us we don't want to see, that messes up our clarity, impairs our decision making. which then messes up the end result of the spell. So, and then I put this on here, and I believe this is on your worksheets as well. So this is an actual Crossroads Ritual, and this came from the book as well. So you'll need a black candle, an old key, the Tarot Two of Swords card, and an offering to Hecate. And then you would light the candle, light the black candle. You want to kind of see Hecate before you, so just take that time meditating, create a visual of her for you. See her there with you. Then you're going to place the card on one side and the key on the other side. And then again, this is on your worksheets as well. But the incantation is, Hecate, Lady of the Crossroads, help me make a choice, to choose the right path, to see clearly the consequences of my choices. I stand at the crossroads. Stand beside me, mighty Hecate. Let me not stand still, but take action. And then asking her for kind of, what is that action? What action should I be taking? And then questions. Give me questions, give me questions.
So you put you put the card and the candle, the key on both sides of the candle?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
card on one side,
Yeah.
key on the other side. Kind of balance that out.
My meditating. Like, I meditate very well.
I don't. Oh,
I
sorry.
can see in black and white, and that bothers me to no end.
Well, what bothers me are like other people's energies that like to interrupt me and like deter me from my goal. So
Are
it
these,
makes me really angry.
are these living energies or
Yes.
energy energies? Okay.
These are like disrespectful, kind of, it's disrespectful, but
Yeah,
I have a lot of problems with like that kind of issue. And I'm working on that, but
yeah, and it's trying to find, especially as a lot of us have a lot more people at home now, trying to find that area where, okay, I'm gonna go do this. I need to not be disturbed. I need to just focus in.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's one of those things, Yeah.
Well, that might just have to be a conversation around the kitchen table.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Cheers. Sorry.
And then you say you see your meditation in black and white.
I can never see in color. If I'm sitting there and I'm reading a book, and then you're visualizing all that shit. But
Right.
when I go to meditate, I cannot see in color.
Wow,
To save my life, I cannot. I will try. Can't.
that's interesting. I've not really touched on that before. Now, as far as myself, for auras, I'm strange. I don't see auras. I will taste auras.
Oh, weird.
It's
That's
like,
weird.
you're like scrambled eggs.
See, I will sit there
Or
and
cinnamon.
work.
Yeah, or cinnamon.
Like, I know your spirit guide. He's supposed to be blue or something when you see him just flashes a color, and that's how I'm always seeing. So, I've had other people come up to me, and I've come to find out my spirit guide is a Native American. He's come to tell me his name is Rodney, but that's only because I won't be able to pronounce his real name. And I've had, like I said, I do ghost hunting. So we do public ghost hunts a lot. And I've had a couple people come up to me and he's like, came out of the blue. He goes, "You're Native American, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, I'm not full." And the girl was like, "How could you tell because of her high cheekbones?" He's like, "Well, not only that, but that very large Native American man standing behind her." So that was the first instance. The second instance, it was another ghost hunt. It was another man. and he told me the same thing. But he says he said it's not really, he's not as far as tall height, but his feathers. He's got a very tall feathers. He's just see the feathers are making his tall. And then, so that's how I've come to find out. So I've been using, like, I'll use my pendulum and kind of find out. Because when I know he's around, or a spirit's around, my head starts to pound. Like, I have the worst headache ever.
Wow.
So I came, one day it was just way too much, and I pulled it out. And come to find out his name is Rodney. And we were going to be married a long time ago. Way back, another lifetime. We were going to be married, but he never made it back. Like, he went out to war. He went to go fight. He had, I think he said he owned 5 horses, and he went out to fight the white man, and he never came back.
Wow.
So that's how I found out about him, and he never leaves my side.
Candace, how do you do with meditating?
I don't put pressure on myself.
No. That never helps.
I don't.
Come on, kitty.
I just do things differently.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's in a quiet place. Sometimes it's in a loud place. I feel like I need to be able to tap in at any given time, whether it's a lot of noise, if it's quiet. So I just do it. But I do every morning at 3 o'clock before I start my day. In the I get up and I will.
She's trying to figure out why all these people on her porch.
Oh my God.
But that meditation is just to keep me grounded.
Right. Well, you seem like our meditation expert here then, because
Right?
I struggle
Nope.
with meditation. I do. Pretty much the closest I get to a real meditative state is if I'm working out. And then, the feet have a pattern, and your breath starts a pattern. And then I can close my eyes and just kind of, allow things to be, be open and allow things to come in. But if I try to just sit, my body seems to have to be doing something.
Well, there's all different
Yeah.
forms of meditation. Like some people, like you're saying, some people exercise and then they tap in and they're meditating. So you don't have to be sitting there and being quiet.
Yeah.
So
Good. See, I'm better than I thought I was. All right. Did anybody else have any other questions? Well, we'll be here for a bit, so if you think of something, you want to ask something, please feel free to do so.
What's on this?
Okay, those are actually peanut butter and orange marmalade biscuits.
Oh, wow. Here, sweetie.
Yeah.
Want to try it? He loves peanut butter.
Oh, there you go. This is one of my favorite songs to use with Hecate, even though it has Caradon's name in it too. I didn't figure Hecate would be too upset. But, it just kind of chants over, Dark Mother, take us in. And, so like that. I'm just going to let that kind of play in the background. All right, so that's it for all of you out there in the virtual world. Bye. Somebody hit the red button, otherwise they'll just stay here forever.
Uh-oh.